Good evening. The time is now 6 o'clock p.m. and I call this regular board meeting of the Freeport Economic Development Corporation to order. Mark, can you do our pledge, and Ms. Marshall, can you do our invocation?
Go.
Me?
Yeah.
Pray?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, just want to thank this evening, for allowing us to come and serve. Please be with us in this meeting tonight. Please direct and guide our decisions as we make decisions to lead this city to prosperity. Lord God, just help us to be in your will and order our steps. We thank you, God, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. Thank you, Mark. That takes us to citizen comments, and seeing none, we'll move on to item 4, our consent agenda, and I'll give everyone a second to look through last month's minutes. And are there any corrections or additions to the minutes?
I'll make the motion that we approve the
We're gonna
minutes
do our
from last
financials.
meeting. Is that what you were asking?
No, I asked there were corrections.
Sorry
Yeah, usually yours. But so we'll go ahead and look at our financials. And Ashley coming up.
Good evening, everyone. This report is for the end through the end of March. Sales tax was received in March for the month of January, and the EDC received $121,065, which is an increase when compared to the same month last year. Currently, the EDC has received $14,207 less in sales tax when compared to the same time period last fiscal year. The EDC fund, as of March 31st, revenues were over expenditures by $297,653. The EDC projects fund has a fund balance of $781,049. The EDC marketing fund has a fund balance of $106,280. And the TERS fund has a fund balance of $919,880. I also included 2 notes for y'all. The approved transfers from the EDC fund over to the projects and the marketing fund that y'all approved with the budget. Those will be done this month, so you'll see them reflected in the report that will come before you next month. And then also next month, you will have the quarterly investment report. We were still missing a balance, so I couldn't have that to y'all tonight. And that's all for the financials, unless somebody has a question.
Thank you. Did you have any questions?
I do see a correction, unless, I'm assuming that's January 2025, not 2024.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, if we can just make the correction on that.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve our consent agenda.
I will make that motion.
So we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
So the motion is made by Ken to approve our consent agenda, and then seconded by Ronnie. Any debate or discussion? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and vote on it. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All opposed state nay. Motion passed unanimously.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to our discussion and action items. And number one, discuss and take possible action on marketing sponsorship for the 2025 Texas LULAC District 8 Convention.
Yes, Mr. President, it's like old times. We have Anna with us tonight. And also, we're pleased to have Eric Aguilar from the City Council of Clute and Irene, the Main Street president here. I would just tell the board that what Anna is about to talk about is an eligible marketing expense.
Good evening. My name is Anna Silvis, the current president of Brazosport LULAC Council 4655. And tonight I am before you all seeking a $500 marketing sponsorship for our upcoming district convention. We are hosting this event here in Freeport at the ABC Texas Gulf Coast venue. That's at 1002 ABC Avenue, Freeport, Texas. So every year our LULAC organization, which LULAC is the League of United Latin American Citizens, we host a district convention, a state convention, and a national convention. So last year our council was selected to host. So because we are the Brazosport LULAC Council, we service the areas of Freeport, Clute, Lake Jackson, and are looking to expand further our services to Angleton, West Columbia, Sweeney. But with this marketing sponsorship, we would like to provide breakfast to our delegates. We have delegates that come to register and listen to workshops. Some of our panels that we have for our workshop are going to be Dr. Solis, Vincent Solis from Brazosport College, who's going to speak on workplace and the generations in the workplace. We also have the Brazoria County Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who will be doing a ribbon cutting, and they will be presenting on their services that they provide to the community, along with a hub testimony, which is talking about historically underutilized businesses in the community. Additionally, we will have MALDEF, which is the Mexican American Legal and Educational Defense Fund, and UTMB speaking on healthcare topic as well. For this, we are expecting to host about 100 people. We do have our district convention, which will be April 12th. And then prior to that, we will have a mixer here in Freeport as well at Miss Lounge. Prior to their opening to the public, the owner has donated the venue to us to host a mixer for our delegates that are coming into town. So we also recommend staying at the new hotel here in Freeport, and with the sponsorship, we would like to provide breakfast from utilizing one of the businesses here in Freeport as well. So if there are any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them. We'll also have your logo on the agenda. We'll mention it during the event and on the breakfast table as well.
So is that the Saturday?
Yes, ma'am, that's this coming Saturday.
So what
April 12th.
time is that? Is that open up to everyone, or
Yeah,
just?
it's open to the public. It starts at 9 a.m. We're going to kick it off with our ribbon cutting with the Hispanic Chamber. We'll also have mariachis as well. We'll have a welcome from our district director, as well as our newly elected Brazoria County Precinct 1 commissioner. He will be there as well. And so we're really excited. Each year, like I mentioned before, a council is selected to host this convention. And so it goes from our district to the state to the national. So bringing it to our community is really, really good for us.
And what day is the mixer at the Mist?
The mixer is Friday,
Friday?
April 11th, yes.
And what time is that one?
That is from 6:30 to 9 before they open to the public.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Are there any other questions? And does anybody have any input? I mean,
And as far as,
Yeah.
just so you know, as far as our group goes, we do a lot of community service events in the community. Our primary goal is education. We focus on providing scholarships to students here at Brazosport High School as well as Brazos Wood High School. Our council has been in the area since about 2002. And I do have some members here with me today, and we are so fortunate to have just a diverse group of individuals that contribute to our mission. And we are dedicated to, advancing the Hispanic population. But in general, we enjoy supporting just the community at large. So.
I'll make a motion to
All right.
do the 500.
Yeah, we have a motion on the floor, made by Ron for the 500. So is there a second?
A second.
All right, and seconded by Ms. Loisa. So any debate or discussion on the 500 for LULAC? Ms. Marshall, did you get that?
No, I
You
can't
can't hear?
up here. I can hear the mics down there, but I can't hear very clearly.
I'm not
It's
sure.
loud.
Yeah, mine sounds a little airish or something.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We're on the LULAC District 8, they're having a convention, and they would like $500 for breakfast, correct?
Yes, to provide the
What-
marketing, it would be a table-sponsored breakfast. We're looking at ordering tacos at Lupita's for our delegates who will be at the convention. So we encourage people to stay here in the community. We've recommended the Hotel Baymont that was just built here. That's right down the street from the convention. And we'll also be utilizing the Miss Lounge as well as another business as a small mixer prior to our convention event.
And so we have a motion on the floor to approve the $500 by Ron, and then Ms. Loisa seconded. And then, so we're at the debate and discussion part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So seeing no debate or discussion, we'll take it up for a vote. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
All opposed state nay. Motion passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll go ahead and move on to number 2, discuss and review downtown and Main Street updates.
Yes, Mr. President, as you know, Wade is no longer the Main Street, in the Main Street position. It is open. Lance and I talked, we haven't fully finished the conversation, but he's looking to me to help with the hiring process and perhaps guiding the program, obviously because of my background. And also Irene, the board president, will be on that. Lance, correct if I'm wrong, he's received 16 applications so far, but I've stressed that, we need to get the right person and there's not a rush. And so, also good news, there was the recognition of where is it? Oh, yeah, the Heritage Tourism leader, the Freeport Historical Commission was acknowledged at the council meeting last night for our city. And so that's good news. It's kind of Main Street stuff, but that's great news. But again, programmatically, Lance and I are looking at the Main Street program because it is vital to our program, and trying to get that back on track. That's the wrong phrase. Just trying to continue because we've lost the director.
Thank you for the update.
Did you have anything?
Sorry. All right, did anyone on the board have any other questions about that? No, okay. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to number 3, discuss and take possible action on door replacements for 210 West Park.
Okay, Mr. President, this happened yesterday. Well, the first part didn't happen yesterday. The door of 210 blew over, or it was kicked over, but probably James Turbeville told me it was probably the wind. And we fixed that door for $300. I authorized Turbeville Construction to do that. And we were looking at other doors and possibilities. But yesterday, and James was going to try and be here tonight, but he couldn't, obviously. So he did leave me a note. He said to customers in the EDC, he said, while I was examining the building with the roofer, it needs to be noted that the two walls in the rear 10 feet of the building do not belong to 210. The walls belong to 208 and 212 respectively, so it's just the back. I believe it is safe to assume that the previous owner expanded the rear 210 without a permit, because this wouldn't have been allowed. The rear of 210 needs to be removed and drawing issued for that portion of the building if the customer would like it rebuilt. Why? Number one, 210 does not have standalone walls in the rear connecting to the existing walls of the original building. 2, the roof connected to 212 and 208, and the city wants to remove the wall left standing from 208. Therefore, I would leave a 10-foot whole, W-H-O-L, and unsupported roof for 210. We cannot just build a wall on the slab. We do not know how thick it is or how well the slab was built. 4, engineers will require a minimum of 24 by 18 or a 24 by 24 perimeter beam and a 12 by 6 thickened edge next to the existing concrete that would not support any such structure. Dowels at 16 OC, I don't know what that, huh? That's 16-inch centers. Okay, thank you. Epoxied inserted 6 inches into the existing slabs. By the time we have met those requirements, it would be cost effective to remove the entire 10 by 25 section. Doors, I have given a proposal to the city, which you have, for a set of doors. It would be wise to install any doors into 210 at this time. I'm sorry, it would be, I think you meant unwise, to install any doors into 210 at this time until the matter is resolved. And I think Lauren's got something.
Yeah, I was going to suggest that to the extent that this is going to involve discussions regarding negotiations regarding economic development incentives, that it be done in executive session.
Did the rest of this go into executive session? So that's it.
Okay.
Did the rest of this go into
Like, you mean the
executive session?
grants?
Huh?
You mean the grants?
Right.
Say that again?
The grants?
Oh, no,
Is
no,
that-
no, no. Just this item.
discussion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Discussion
Yeah,
on
and you could-
specifics of what we're looking to do.
Oh, okay.
Right, and if you want to, you can go ahead and take up 4, 5, and 6, and just take up 3 in executive session. When you get there, come back out, and then if there's action to be taken on 3, you can take it.
Okay. Okay.
So basically, we're gonna finish this in,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then we'll just move on to number 4, of course. So discuss and take possible action on the business improvement grant for Freeport Veterinary Medical Clinic.
yes, I have, Cody, Gordell is at the, applying for a grant. Very thorough application, very well done application, for his, establishment, which was partially, some of the project was, due to Hurricane Beryl.
Okay.
Cody?
Yeah, I'm Cody Gordell, your local veterinarian. I've been here since 2015. The grant is actually for damage from Beryl for our boarding facility in the spot. And so we had half of our roof taken off by the hurricane, and it was actually out in the street behind the clinic the day of. And so had a lot of obvious water damage from that. Had to gut everything down to the studs, get engineers in to re-engineer the roof. TWIA paid for a large portion of that, but the engineering and some of the things that have gone on throughout the whole project, there was ongoing damage because it's a flat roof and you can't just tarp a flat roof, so you have, every rainstorm that comes through month after month. is dumping water in there. And so TWIA is taking care of the majority of it. The other portion that I outlined in the grant proposal was paid out of pocket, totally out of pocket. We had to do that out of pocket because going through loans and going through SBC or SBA would have taken quite a bit of time while we're having more ongoing damage. We were able to operate half of our facility, thankfully, and the other half was closed down, the main lobby, and then, I guess we had 14, about 32 rooms that were not available, kennel space. So took a pretty big financial hit with that, but everybody has their barrel stories. I'm not trying to, say that they aren't, but anyways, that's what I'm here for.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, thank you for, coming up and sharing that with us.
Sure.
And sorry about all that, that, y'all had to go through with,
Yes, sir.
since the hurricane. So if y'all look at, I'm on page 36 in the packet. That's where that's what I'm on. That's where all the finances are listed. So it'd be a total of 23,338. Is that correct, Robert?
Say that again.
The total, would it be 23,338 and 14?
Yes.
So, Ms. Marshall, did you get that? It's just under 25,000 would be the total, the EDC's portion.
So that 23,000, is that the amount that they're asking for? Or is that the amount of the cost of the?
That's as much as we can give based on the
Three categories.
the agreement. Our the grant agreement. But so their total cost is about 120,000.
$128,314.47.
How much did your insurance company help you with, percentage-wise?
Insurance or TWIA?
Sir?
Insurance or TWIA? I mean, they're basically the same. So TWIA right now still owes about 45,000 that we haven't been paid. And then of what I submitted, I guess they paid right at about 50,000 of that. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers with me. I kind of ran over here from the office, but so I would say they paid about half of it. They're going to end up paying about 3/4, and a quarter is going to be out of pocket. So I'm going to have 40 to 45,000 out of pocket.
Right.
Yeah.
And Ken, I know kind of what you're driving at. They also appealed to the SBA for funding, and that's in the packet. So they sought out other sources.
Did y'all have any other questions?
I'm sorry?
Were there any other questions?
Do I have it? Yeah, so my question is probably more for Mr. Johnson. What is the performance agreement on what would the performance agreement be for a grant like this? For this type of business?
I'm not sure what you're asking me. It would be the typical grant performance agreement that we issue with the requirement of you have to stay in business for a year and the 6-month timeline for construction, et cetera.
Okay, I didn't know what the typical performance agreements was. That's why I was asking. Thank you.
And if there are no other questions, go ahead and entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion, we approve the 23,338. I mean, he's made a huge investment in Freeport.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I second that.
We have a motion on the floor to approve the total, EDC's total portion, seconded by Ms. Loesa. Any other debate or discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Motion passed unanimously.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
We'll talk,
Thank
Cody.
you.
Thank you for coming.
I took my cat there. They neutered my cat.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cody.
Sorry, I'm on call tonight.
No.
Need to get back.
Yep.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to number 5. Discuss and take possible action on the business improvement grant for On the River.
Okay, and I apologize. This grant was, we were working very closely with Becca. Becca and Drew are doing it, but Becca's taken the lead. I met with her, told her we're gonna be tight on the timeline. And then, as you know, we've been having EDC, building inspection, code enforcement, and Main Street meetings it's every Monday now. I'm sorry, I always say Monday, every Tuesday. So we had one this morning. And I can't be artful. Basically, Becca's contractor was on one page and wasn't necessarily, it's the contractor's job to go and get the required permits, and she thought he was, but long story short, he was not. And code didn't know the scope of the project, so there's problems with this one. I talked to Becca, she's okay. She's gonna come back next month, but that was a problem discovered this morning.
So we'll just move on then?
Yes.
Okay.
I do have one question, though.
Mhm.
So I know that we're going to continue on that, but on the, I guess you would call that the scope, or it's page 77. So does that need to be rewrote on there? Because it said estimated start date is May 2024, not 2025.
I'll get them to change that date.
Okay.
That's an obvious mistake,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to number 6. Discuss and take possible action on the business improvement grant for Lone Star Fishing.
Yes, this is another one, Mr. President. Alyssa from Lone Star Fishing came in. She's got a wonderful idea and concept and business, but it came in less than 2 weeks ago, and I said, we're gonna really have to push it. I left the item on the agenda. I knew Friday probably,
okay.
but I said, if there's something like the permit is the only thing left, I've done that before. It either is or it is not. But I left this, and then there was just too many documents that she hadn't been able to get in. So regretfully, I told her that we'd have to hold off on this until next month.
Okay. Well, then that's executive session, huh?
Oh, and one other issue
comments.
that I'm gonna meet with Lance with on Friday, and also building inspectors. If you recall, we've had a couple grants come in where the permit says the project's $1,000, and then they submit receipts to us. This seems to be, I'm not saying it's rampant, but it happens over and over. And so we're working with Lance. We've set up a meeting on Friday to look at, just look at all facets of the code enforcement, process. However, having said that, as you know, the communication is excellent now between our organizations, and it's imperative because we work hand in hand with code. Oh, and for those of you that don't know, Shelby is no longer with the city. She went to the county. So Patty has taken over. Is that temporary or permanent? Temporary. Temporary right now. Right. Okay. So that, I just wanted to report that.
No, thank you for the update. Well, that takes us to our board and executive director comments. Ms. Marshall, would you like to start us off with our comments?
Yeah, sure. So First of all, I do apologize for missing last month's meeting. I was dealing with a death in my family, so I just ask for everyone's prayers as me and my sons continue to heal. There were a couple of items that I put on the agenda for last month, and one of them had to do with the policy for, help me out, Mr. Johnson. It was
Ethics.
ethics, exactly. Thank you. It was the ethics policy. And the reason why I put this on the agenda is because I do know that the city council, in one of their meetings, they, I guess, revised their ethics policy. I'm not really sure if the mayor is present, maybe, or even Mr. Petty, maybe they can kind of clarify. But I thought that they mentioned that it was applicable to all city employees, the boards that were selected by city council and city council. And I do know that we already have an ethics policy in place. So my question was, if the languages differ on the two ethics policies, which one do we adhere to? Do we just continue to use the one that the EDC has already approved? That's the reason why I had that on the agenda.
Yes, we're a separate entity than the city,
Okay.
and we're not required to follow. I mean, obviously, we work hand in hand with the city, but we have voted and codified our own ethics policy, and that's in full effect right now. We do not need to revise. You know, the city sometimes does stuff because it's relevant to the city, and so we've got one in place that we voted on, I believe, in November. And it's that policy did not change because of the modifications made to the city ethics policy.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. And so that brings me to my next question. So on last night, the city revised the personnel handbook, and I think it had to do with vacation. But I do know that our staff, meaning you and Miss Rachel, we utilize the city's personnel policies handbook. Is that correct?
Yes, we have always done that. Now, we're not required to, but yes, we've always done that, and it's always worked. So,
Yeah,
so
I thought that. I'm sorry.
the policies that you're referring to came to us today. I didn't have a chance to get mine signed, but I intend to sign it. And we have traditionally followed the city's guidance on that,
Right.
on personnel.
And so I just wanted to make sure that you and Miss Rachel were being kept up to speed on any changes, you know, because that would affect you guys. And I
Right.
just wanted to make sure that that was being communicated to you.
Yes, and I just note that working with Lance, you know, he's an open door, and we've had a healthy dialogue between us and communication between departments. And if anything, the communication between the EDC and all different departments, including HR, has gotten stronger under Lance's leadership.
Okay, great. And so do those policies also get maybe communicated to at least the president and or vice, just so that they'll know?
I'll be delighted to send, Josh, I'll send you the policy, the one that I was sent this morning from Donna.
Okay. Well, that was my question. Other than that, I don't have anything else except for you're doing a great job. I was looking at your director's report, and I won't go into any details, of course, but just some of the things that are opening in Freeport, I'm really excited. So great job to you and Miss Rachel.
Thank you
you're
for
doing a
that
great
compliment. We appreciate it.
Uh-huh. That's it. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Marshall. Mark? Ronnie? Ken?
Yes, Robert has, and Rachel, I visit up there often, and I'm always aware of what's going on, and Robert has done a great job since he's been here. It's taken him a little while at first to catch on to us, but he did, and he's doing a real good job. And I'm not doing this just to pad you, but I mean it.
I appreciate that, Ken.
I can second that.
Thank you.
Well, I can third that then.
Your turn?
Now we need to do a group hug. No, I don't have any comments. Thank you.
I would just, add on that, just seeing all the progress within the city. Just something as simple as a grocery store being back opened. People at work coming up to me saying how nice it looks, how much they like going in there so much more. And to see that we're making a direct impact in people's lives because of the decisions, that are made in this room. Robert, you keep us on track with all of that, all of your experience that you came with, and everything of that nature. And then Rachel, you just came in and didn't miss a beat at all. We're all very appreciative of all of y'all's hard work and everything else in that regard. And then thank you for everyone that took the time to just view this meeting or was here in attendance, for being civically engaged. And no further comments. And Robert?
I would like to reciprocate, because you all know I really mean this, that, there's a lot of stuff that we do that you don't know we're doing. And there's a lot of hard work and setting this up, and here we're doing this, and administrative type stuff that's not on the agenda. And I've always felt very supported by the board. I can ask the board members questions. I recently wrote Mark a tome of a question, but I'm very appreciative, and I know Rachel is too, of the board's support and how we're working together. Having said that, as you know, Lance and I have been working with Starbucks. Starbucks is trying to do a new rollout. We had a couple hitches with them. I think that both Lance, it wasn't anybody that did it deliberately, but the water was shut off, which cost them quite a bit of money. I've been working with their regional manager and Gabby at the store about marketing. We're putting together some plans. We recently, I should acknowledge Toby Cohen was instrumental in helping with this, getting their Facebook page back in somehow they had lost it and didn't have control over it, and Meta, Facebook, had shut them down. And so we're working, all things are on the table as far as helping them out, because we certainly want them in our community, and we've stressed that they're an important player. But those meetings and discussions are taking place. So that's going well. There may be at some point, Lance has been kind enough to donate city property so they can not donate the property to them, but where they can put their marketing materials and flags and things like that. We're also considering, and I emphasize considering, some kind of maybe rebates so we can, for the water situation, and they can use that for the marketing campaign that we're doing, and the EDC may even kick in a little bit, because it would certainly be a qualified expenditure, but we're really trying to help them, and we've had many meetings, and it's going up to corporate. I mean, everything they do has to go up, but we're certainly the regional director is involved. As you know, we've been participating in the intern program. We have an intern this week and next week. Intern this week and next week. Christian, and we're working on real world scenarios and trying to, instead of just go file this, we're trying to give them real world situations. Certainly they've helped with the marketing report, and Rachel's kind of guiding it, so I'll let her chime in.
Currently right now, Christian is interested in marketing in general and kind of creating his own brand. So we've been showing him how, branding is very important, linking it with our efforts to help Starbucks so that he can see his efforts going forward, you know, showing him it's not just posting on Facebook, but, you know, finding the videos. We're actually going to start putting it, have Christian put these videos that we find on how to establish your business on Facebook, because it's gotten a lot more difficult, as help videos on our Facebook page and our website. So he's able to see how his work is actually impacting the community and not just behind the scenes or just something, you know, that might seem menial.
Okay, and then we're working with the wayfinding quotes. We're still moving forward on that. David McGinty did manage to dig out that placement, and so Lance and I are going to review it and look at, you know, if that's appropriate and how we want to move forward, and also the scope of the project. You know, we've talked about everything from just simple wayfinding that impacts the downtown to wayfinding that impacts the whole town to perhaps even rebranding / marketing campaign like Angleton. Of course, that would be a lot more expensive. So we're just discussing it right now, but it is moving forward. Working with retail strategies to set up interviews and meetings for Las Vegas and targeted businesses and all that. And I will get with the team member. We're still a ways out. But we'll, you know, you've got the experience, and we'll as the date moves closer, we'll have more materials that we're gonna take with us. Certainly, having gone last time was valuable, because I know now not to bring 25 books to pass out, because that was highly unnecessary. So we're looking forward to that. Recent ribbon cutting, Facebook and website. The ribbon cutting at the courthouse. I attended that and got to talk to Judge Hill and Judge Sebesta. It was a great, and they were happy to see us out there. Ronnie was out there as usual, and it was a great celebration. If you haven't seen the new courthouse, I would encourage you to go up to Angleton and see it. It's very impressive. I've already said Shelby is no longer with the city. Regrettably, she did a very good job, and I don't know if she's listening, but I thank her immeasurably for the work in getting code enforcement to be the well-oiled machine that it currently is. Main Street coordinator position you already know about. The lamps. I thought I told you, but I may not have. On the river, one of the things that they requested, Drew and Becca, was across the street there's some historic-looking lamps, and they've been trying to get those on, and so I worked with Lance, and his crew is going to address, if they have not already, they're going to address it and get those fixed and turned on, so that's good. Hotel survey is still ongoing. The EPA grant, I was going to talk about this, but I really couldn't during the session while she was here. But we've been having the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, who is over the grant and awarded the grant, review our request for proposals, and they haven't gotten a hold of us. So I don't know if something's happened. I heard through the grapevine that Paul Johnson, who is our representative from EPA, is going to retire, but he hasn't yet. So I'm still reaching out to him. Hopefully, you know, he hasn't been caught up in the cutbacks at the federal level. But I just want to know, everybody to know that we've still got an eye on it. We're still working with that. Also, you know, we talked about the alleys off of what?
We just discussed what happened to the alleys.
Right, we were just,
We talked about the alleys off of Park, and Lance had trouble getting a hold of the folks at Centerpoint. They kept sending them to a 1-800 number or whatever it was. I saw the emails, and so I reached out to Cam Yearty, who's the economic developer, and got rapid response. And so we're working on a site visit here in Freeport where they bring the folks out. As you recall, or may recall, those gas lines need to be buried further so we can do the work on the alleyway. And then we're also working with them on addressing any further issues with the 8.8 acres and getting those lines moved as appropriate. Do you have anything to add to that, Lance? No, sir. Okay. And yeah, Main Street was recognized as a tourism. We've already heard about that. That's all I have. Once again, I thank everybody for these meetings. I know it takes a certain amount of time, but I appreciate every one of you on the board.
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to, oh yeah, go ahead.
Me and Robert put about a 10-minute meeting in about 40 seconds today. That's about all the time we had. But just to update you real quick, I did get a response from TxDOT this afternoon, and they're going to begin construction on Brazosport Boulevard beginning tomorrow night at midnight. So they'll be doing the work overnight to not interrupt with businesses during the day. And they're going to be making all the repairs to the issues with the road now, and then they're planning on coming in and asphalt overlaying that road. Their anticipated completion time is by the end of the year. So they're going to start doing a lot of construction at night on that roadway.
That'll make a lot of, thank you, Lance.
I think that's what they're addressing, hopefully. Yeah.
Lance, okay, I don't want to be dumb. So I just want to make sure, I don't want to ever assume anything. So we're talking about when you're going down the road, all those bumps, and everybody's complaining about that?
Yes, ma'am.
That's what you're talking about,
They had
right?
already fixed everything from 36 all the way to 2nd Street, so they'll be focused on the rest of it now, making all those bumps that
Okay.
drive your car.
That's
Yeah.
gonna, yes, that'll be fantastic.
Yes, ma'am.
We hear that so often from
I feel like
the
I hear it
people
once a
that live
week.
here, our residents.
I hear it
So
every
that'll
time
be
my wife
fantastic.
drives through
So
town.
that'll be in the middle of the, like, at nighttime, they'll be doing that, like
Yeah, they'll
early
be
in the
doing, they'll be beginning at midnight,
midnight?
and they'll work all night and shut down before business is open in the morning.
Wow,
so
that's
they're not interfering
fantastic.
with traffic.
Are we gonna put something out on media
Yeah.
saying that
Well, I
they're
got the
gonna do?
message today from TxDOT.
I'm already jumping the
I
gun.
sent a quick message over to Toby. I think
Everybody
he was
talks
trying to
about
get
those.
something together to put on social media today
That'd
or
be-
tomorrow morning and get it
Yeah.
on the website. And then if all of our businesses are tied to the on-call system that we
Yeah.
have, we'll probably type a message up tomorrow and send that to them so they're alert of the construction that'll be coming up.
Wow, that's some great news. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, that is really great news. They've been there a while, quite a while. Honestly, as long as I can remember, but that might not be that far back. So we'll go ahead and go to executive session. And it is now 6:49 p.m. And I hereby recess the regular session of the Freeport Economic Development Corporation meeting and do hereby convene into executive session in compliance with Texas Government Code Section 551.071, consultation with attorney, and 551.087, economic and community development matters.
I hope you weren't saying
Mr.
something
Mitchell.
important.